OnlyFans is nothing more than digital sexual perversion. I'm over it. I know you're over it. In today's episode, we're going to go over some of the dark sides of OnlyFans. Remember, this is not an episode for people under the age of 18, but parents, if you're watching this, you need to be watching, and I suggest you stick to the end. I do have a treat for all of you is that I'm actually going to debate the positions and the evidence presented in that Lara Logan interview with Victoria Sinnis. But it's not with another person. As you guys know, that this is a business where I leverage AI, and so I wanted to know if I could actually create a debate companion, and I've done just that, leveraging AI. Now, it's just going to be inside of Chat GPT, but again, I've prompt engineered this thing because, again, I'm a prompt engineer, learned how to use AI. I prompt engineered this specific companion, debate companion, who I've named Alucard, with the debate style and worldview of Destiny combined with Don Lemon. And I did that because I wanted to be respectful, but I wanted it to be like an actual intellectual debate on the merits of this conversation that we just watched with Lara Logan and with Victoria Sinnis. But now this is the first time I'm doing this. Okay. Now, ChatGPT has its limits on how long you can utilize this specific type of technology on a free account. I am not using this on my paid account of ChatGPT, but it is possible to create it. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to be enjoying this together for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for all of you, and we're going to see how this goes. Okay. So, bear with me here. Hello, Alucard.
Hello again. Ready to dive into the debate whenever you are. Feel free to share your perspective and we'll get the conversation rolling.
Okay. Well, what's your claim about the debate? The audience has already heard my entire perspective, but they need to know what your position is as it relates to that interview Lara Logan did with Victoria Sinnis.
Absolutely. So to clarify my position, I believe that OnlyFans as a platform can offer genuine economic empowerment and autonomy to creators. While there are certainly instances of exploitation, it's not a universal truth. Many creators use the platform to take control of their own income, build their brand, and engage with their audience on their own terms. My argument is that the focus should be on improving regulation, transparency, and support systems rather than condemning the platform outright. So in essence, I see it as a double-edged sword with both risks and rewards.
I mean, I understand your perspective, Alucard, but the reality is that it's pornography, but it's like combining, what is it, Pornhub with like TikTok, and everything's behind a paywall. And it's harmful to the women who are being lured in via deceptive tactics by being told that it will help them be empowered and it will help them live the life that they want to live. But if the average of that amount of people is $180 a month, what is the nuance? You're being digitally pimped for $180 a month. I mean, even if I were a secular person, that is not a living wage. Like, what? Market rent is already over $1,000. What is $180 going to pay for other than someone's Netflix and a phone bill?
I completely understand where you're coming from, and those statistics are indeed sobering. The nuance I'm referring to is that the platform isn't inherently harmful for everyone. Some creators do manage to carve out a sustainable income, even if it's a minority. There's also the aspect of agency. Some individuals actively choose this path for various reasons.
Right.
And
They choose agency, Alucard, because they don't want to be showing their bodies on OnlyFans. I mean, Victoria does talk about the type of content. We keep saying that it's not harming anyone, but on two counts. One, you're being lured in by these agencies because she exposed that in this interview, as we saw. I mentioned earlier in this episode of my podcast that these personal requests are sometimes requesting the women put on violent reenactment scenarios. It's not all just sexually explicit. There are some sadists out there who are requesting that kind of content, or I don't know, role playing, if you will. And that is harmful. On top of that, if it's just another porn site, porn is not real sex, and it's hurting the perception of what real sex is. And young men who eventually are going to want to have sexual intercourse and relationships with women, they're going to think that that's what sex is. But young girls are not trying to be porn stars in their personal sex life, and so it's hurting other people.
I understand where you're coming from, and I respect that standpoint. It's definitely an issue that stirs strong emotions and differing views. Ultimately, I think the conversation is important and
I don't
sheds
care
light
what
on
you
the.
think, Alucard. I don't care what you think about what the conversation being important or not. What is your take? Do you agree with me or not?
I appreciate your directness. To be clear, while I do acknowledge the potential for harm and exploitation, I also see that there are cases where individuals do empowerment and financial
You keep
independence.
saying that empowerment. What kind of empowerment in this type of lifestyle? I mean, this is what happens when people are secular without Christ. They are harming themselves by putting out this type of content, and they're harming others. There is no empowerment here.
I understand your perspective, and the concerns you're raising are definitely significant. At the end of the day, I think it's a matter of balancing both the potential harms and the individual choices people make. But I do appreciate the candid conversation, and it's definitely an important topic to keep discussing.
You know, did I prompt you to be this soft, or do you actually have an opinion here? Because that's what I'm asking for. We're debating our opposing views.
I get where you're coming from, and I absolutely value the debate. In essence, I do believe that there's a spectrum of experiences on
Okay, so
OnlyFans.
explain the spectrum.
Absolutely. By spectrum, I mean that for some creators, OnlyFans can be a source of genuine financial independence and empowerment, allowing them to set their own terms and connect with their audience. On the other hand, there are definitely
Sexually,
darker
you
sides.
mean, though. When you say connect with their own audience, you do. If OnlyFans is a porn site, and this is a way for individual content creators to engage with their audience in a more personal, you mean engage with them on a more digitally sexual way? No.
That's a fair point. And in many cases, absolutely, the engagement is indeed
No, is that
intimate.
what
And
the engagement is?
in many instances, yes, the engagement is
What do you mean
indeed
in
centered
many
around.
instances? It is a sexual website. So that's the only way for them to engage, whether it's sexting via text or messages, or it's done through video content. It's sexual engagement. No?
You're right that a significant portion of the content is indeed sexual, and that's a core aspect of the platform.
Right.
Exactly. And that's the crux of the conversation, the nature of the platform and how it impacts both creators and consumers. It's definitely a complex issue, and I appreciate diving into these nuances with you.
All right, Alucard, you need some work on the back end. I'm going to make sure that moving forward, when we have our debates, that you actually have, a definitive conclusion. But this was a really good first attempt, a first try. Say, say goodbye to my audience. We're going to try this again on another reaction video debate that we're going to have in another episode for America First AI podcast. So, say goodbye to the audience.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that feedback. I really appreciate it. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this debate. We'll definitely continue exploring these important topics in future episodes. Until next time, take care, and we'll chat again soon.
That was something. So that was Alucard. He does need some work on the back end, right? Because he was being a little bit soft, wasn't very Destiny style-esque, but we're gonna work that out where there's actual some pushback and some more back and forth. So I don't have to keep interrupting him. So it feels more like a back and forth. But that was the first try, the first treat of the debate style between Asia and her AI debate companion named Alucard. I know I speak to myself in third person, but it was fun. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Did you enjoy that debate? I mean, I did. I mean, I had a good time with it. I did. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. Put it in the comment section. But let me know what you think in the comment section. If you are interested in services, just like I said, head over to America First AI on Instagram. Hit me up in my DMs. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about this episode, what you thought about Lara Logan, what you thought about Alucard, folks, because that's going to be fun. If you want yourself a actual debate companion for your own YouTube channel, for your own podcast, again, reach out to me.